April 19th is National Garlic Day, and for you garlic lovers out there, Chef Luke and I are going to prepare 2 dishes today that highlight that ingredient. I'm going to show you how to make chicken with 40 garlic cloves. Yes, that's right, 40 garlic cloves. And actually, it sounds scary, but it makes a really delicious sauce. So what I have right here are 8 chicken thighs, and you want to use the thighs because the fat on there really helps to create that sauce that I've already browned. And then here I've left whatever juices were in the pan, and this is on a medium-high flame. And to that, you want to add half of your garlic cloves, and then also 6 green onions and the leaves from 2 sprigs of fresh thyme. And also just a little bit of salt and pepper. Season as you go. Okay, so just stir that around. Make sure it's coated in all that juice. And then you want to top that with your chicken thighs. And then any juices that were left in the bowl, you want to pour those over the top, just so that you're not wasting any of that flavor. And on top, we're going to finish it with the rest of the garlic cloves, a little bit more salt and pepper, a few more sprigs of fresh thyme. You can leave these whole because they'll fall apart as this cooks. And then also 2 tablespoons of white wine. And any white wine is fine. You just want to cover it with a lid. And I have an oven that I preheated to 350. So we want to put that in there. And then that bakes for 1.5 hours. You don't have to do anything to it. It kind of does its own thing. And then I have one ready right here. And so once it's baked for that long, as you can see, all those juices kind of ran out and all the garlic cooks down, so it makes the garlic super sweet, and it just makes a delicious evening meal.
I'll be making one of my favorite garlic dishes. It's a roasted garlic aioli. Now this works as it's a mayonnaise that you use a whole bowl of garlic that you roast off in the oven. So we start off with some whole garlic bulbs, and then what you'll do is you just kind of cut the top off, just like that. So it just kind of exposes the bulbs just a little bit. So then you get some aluminum foil and just set them down into here. And then just take a little bit of olive oil, just drizzle it right over there, getting coated. Just kind of keeps it able to be moist and that the aluminum foil won't stick to it. So take this and just kind of French it up. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. You're just getting it kind of sealed and protected inside the aluminum foil. So we'll take these, and with your already hot oven, we'll just put these in here and let them roast for a little while. Get them nice and soft. So what you need with the garlic aioli is something to go on. You can use French fries, whatever you'd like. In this case, I'll be making some truffled Parmesan chips. So wash yourself a nice Idaho potato, and for this you'll need a couple pieces of equipment. This is a mandolin. You can get these at most kitchen stores. The ones like this, they usually aren't too expensive. You're talking maybe 20, 25 bucks. I like leaving the skins on there. Kind of gives them a nice full color and full skin to it. You want to make sure that these are going to be kind of real paper thin. Otherwise, if you get them too thick, then they won't be quite done in the center. You don't want these to be in the fryer for very long. So just take this. Now, these come with safety guards, and it's a little bit safer for you. Now, I've been using a mandolin for many years, so it kind of gets in my way. So, but always be safe at home. Make sure you don't lose parts of your hand that you'll need later. So, get a few of these chips in here. Put up the lid. Put up the basket. Now be careful. You want to make sure and get as much of the excess water off as you can, because when you throw it into hot oil, obviously oil and water don't mix. You can already hear it pop just a little bit. But put that right down in there, close the lid, and that'll just need a little bit of cook time in it. So, while we're letting the chips cook, we can take the garlic bulb out of the oven. I've had it here for about an hour. This is just, the garlic cloves are already starting to just spread right out of here. So, this is going to be really, really hot, so be careful. Now, you can feel it, and like I said, it is hot. So what we're going to want to do is kind of keep the foil on. It gives your hand a little bit of protection. And then since you cut the top off of it, this will allow the garlic cloves to be kind of spread out onto it. So squeeze it just a little bit. Get that kind of nice soft mush out of there. Now, you're not going to need a whole bunch of this, but you're going to want to take your whisk and you're just kind of making sure that this is into softened small pieces, so that when you start your mayonnaise, the flavor will spread out. So it looks like there's not much in here, but this is a lot of roasted garlic flavor into this. So then I've separated some eggs. This is 4 egg yolks. So we'll put this into here, and this will incorporate the flavor right into the base of your mayonnaise. So get that garlic flavor in there real well. Okay. The more you whisk this, you get more air into the egg yolks. So it'll actually get them light and fluffy, better to mix with your oil when you're making your mayonnaise. So it'll even start to change a little bit of color because you are adding a little bit of heat by the action that you're going with it. So it starts to change into almost kind of a pale orange. Just take some extra virgin olive oil. And you see I've taken a towel, wet towel, and then kind of twirled it and then done a little circle right here because you're going to need both hands here. So you can get this kind of stable. So you see I can kind of do it as long as I'm not like really, really whisking hard. And at this point, you don't need to whisk that hard to mix the mayonnaise. So just slowly add your olive oil. You almost don't see it at first because it's incorporating with the egg yolk to actually thicken into making mayonnaise. Now you can already see that it's starting to thicken up pretty well. But you want to make sure that you keep getting air into it so that it doesn't separate. So keep adding your olive oil. We're probably going to add about a cup. That'll make a good solid mayonnaise. Now this is going to be different than the mayonnaise you get out of a jar in the store because there's no preservatives, no additives. This is just going to be a little bit thicker. You're also not going to have as much shelf life. So just be wary of that if you're going to store this. I think we're about there with consistency. So it should just move just a little bit in the bowl. So now, just like when we finish most dishes, we adjust some salt and a little fresh cracked pepper. We have our garlic aioli. Make sure you get most of the excess oil off of there. Toss them right into here. What I like to put on my chips to give it a little bit of flavor is a little Parmigiano Reggiano cheese and a little bit of truffle oil along with some salt. This stuff goes a long way, so you don't want to drown them in there. So just kind of put your thumb over the top, and just get a little bit and toss it around with your hands. You just want to get the flavor and essence. Then take some salt. And then a microplane or a really fine grater works really, really well. So we'll take this, grate some right over the chips. Toss a little bit. Our fried truffle chips with a little garlic aioli. Bon appetit.